Calls for growth, insurance problems, illegal immigration. Maybe you've seen the headlines, stalemates in Congress, bickering among political parties. It seems both parties want the same outcome, but have completely different ideas on what will make that change happen. You may ask yourself, why aren't they passing bills? What's taking them so long? And even a more basic question, how does a bill become a law? Now, the general process for making a bill into a law is described in the Constitution. As with many things, however, the Constitution leaves most of the details to the interpretation of the people. But before we delve into those details, I believe a look at the general process is useful. So first off, a bill must pass through both houses of Congress by a majority vote. And after it is passed out of Congress, it is sent to the President. If the President signs the bill, it becomes law. See, the process laid out in the Constitution is relatively simple when it comes to approving a bill, but in reality, there is a lot more to lawmaking than these steps suggest. First off, a bill must be submitted for consideration by a member of Congress. In the House, representatives drop a copy of a bill into a bin specifically designated to receive new bills, and in the Senate, the bill is given to a clerk at the President's desk. Now, bills can be introduced in either house, though as noted before, a bill must eventually pass both houses to become law. So next, the proposed bill must pass through committee. Both houses of Congress, the House and the Senate, are divided into large groups called committees, with most committees divided yet again into subcommittees. Now, each committee tends to a different general topic in the nation's business, like finance or the military. Subcommittees are even more specialized, with one on, for example, military nuclear weapons and another on military pay. Bills typically concern a specific topic. Because of this, nearly all bills fall into a specific subcommittee's area of responsibility. So let's say there's a bill to raise pay for soldiers. That would fall under the military subcommittee on pay, promotion, and retirement. Once the bill is introduced, it is assigned to a committee. At this time, witnesses may be called to testify as to why a bill is needed, and a subcommittee member may ask questions of the witnesses to determine if the bill is in fact a necessity. After the hearings, members of the subcommittee will then vote on the bill to see if it should proceed to the full committee. Now, if the vote fails, then the bill dies, and if it passes, a vote on the bill is taken at the committee level. Now, if the bill is defeated at the committee vote, it dies, but if it passes, a committee report is attached to the bill and it is sent to Congress. Now, in the House, most bills are then referred to the so-called Committee of the Whole, which is members of the House, but it's a smaller amount of them just to speed things up. During this general examination time, is allotted for debate, with equal amounts of time that have been given to the two parties in the House. When the time for debate is up, a second reading is done, and after the second reading, amendments to the bill may be offered, debated, and voted upon. If passed, the bill is sent to the full House, and once in the hands of the full House, the amendments placed on the bill by the Committee of the Whole are voted upon. After that, one of two votes can happen, either a vote to recommit, which is basically the committee saying we don't like the amendments that the whole Committee of the Whole made, and they send the bill back to the committee, or they can vote on the bill as it was amended. Now, if that bill passes, it is sent to the other chamber of Congress. So in the Senate, in some cases, a simple voice vote is taken, which is simply a yes or no vote, but most bills are a lot more complicated than that. They need to be debated. So in all cases other than a voice vote, the bill is placed on the calendar for review by the entire Senate at a later date. So when that bill's time comes up, each senator has 5 minutes to speak on the bill. During this time, amendments may be offered, and then after all amendments are offered and voted upon, and all senators who wish to talk have had a chance to, the bill is put forth to a vote. Now, if it passes the Senate, and if anything changes between the original bill, it needs to go to conference. So if anything is different, even punctuation, the bill must be reconciled. So the House which originated the bill is given a copy of the bill with its differences. For example, if the House originated a bill and sent it to the Senate for consideration and the Senate made changes, the bill is sent back to the House. So if the changes are minor, they might be accepted by the other House with no debate. If the changes are more substantial in nature, a conference is called for. So in a conference, members from both chambers meet to work out the differences in the two versions of the bill. Following negotiations, the members make reports back to their houses that they were able to agree on the bill, or they weren't. If it's the first case, the bill is revoted upon in both houses, and if it's the latter case, the bill may go back to a new committee, or it may just die because the differences are too vast to bridge. Regardless of how it leaves Congress, once it does, it goes to the President for his signature. The President may sign the bill at any time after it is delivered to him, but if it sits unsigned for more than 10 days, it becomes law regardless of his signature or not. If the President decides to veto the bill, a message will be sent back to Congress explaining why he chose to do so. And the two houses of Congress, if they feel they have a 2/3 majority needed to overturn a veto, they may decide to revote on the issue right away. If no immediate revote is taken, the bill can be tabled for a later vote or sent back to the committee to have further work done. If a vote is taken to override the veto and it fails, the bill is dead. Now, officially, after the president signs the bill, 10 days pass without a signature, or after a veto override, the bill is considered law. Now, I'm not suggesting that you give our leaders a free pass the next time you read the angry headlines and the reports of bickering, but the next time you see a headline announcing the passage of a new bill, maybe take time to appreciate all it's been through.